We last left off putting the trim on the door and the base trim with my new brad nailer. Go check out that review, as well as painting the outside. Now let's jump into this video where I'll be making my vanity. We're starting off with 3/4 inch plywood that I bought from Home Depot. Now don't be like me and cross your arms while you're cutting. Be safe and cut better. Here I'm cutting a notch in for the bottom of the vanity on the left. There will be two vanities to this, so this is the first one on the left. And so I'm cutting out the pieces, putting in some pocket holes for the stability on the top and the back. And then here I will be connecting the pieces. Alrighty, we're shooting the vanity build, which you can see it's already built, but I just want to say thank you for stopping by. Make sure you hit that subscribe because these are going to be pretty awesome, and I'm hopeful, a little nervous, but I'll let you know how I build it and how well it goes. So stick around, catch the whole series on the playlist, and I'll see you out there. Alrighty, let's get back into it. So here is the vanity sitting on some paint buckets in the bathroom where it will be installed shortly. Hello, welcome back to another beautiful day. It's bright out here. Let's step into the garage and loud. Alrighty, today we're hitting vanity number 2 and hopefully we can get the plumbing done today and install the vanities. Not completely like without the drawers and the doors and stuff like that, but enough to put on the top and do the sinks. So that's what today should hold. Let's get it. I am marking the spots where the dividers are going to go. I split this up into 3s so that I could choose if I'm going to put drawers or just doors on these. I wasn't too sure before creating this what I was going to do based on the plumbing, and as you can see in the dividers there is a hole on the bottom right for plumbing. But any of these 3 can be drawers or doors, and you'll see what I decided later. Hello there, we are doing some plumbing. I'm doing this a little bit unconventional where I should be going through the wall to get the water to the new faucet. I'm just gonna go outside the wall because I don't want to drill through studs. Yeah, I don't know, let me know in the comments how bad that is, but let's do it how I'm gonna do it. If you know anything about plumbing, I am using PEX. There's PEX for the water through my whole house. And so it makes it pretty easy to cut and to tie in whatever I need to. I'm using 2 T's to tie into these 2 lines. One of the directions will go to the sink right above this, and then the other one will go to the sink on the far left. Now, like I said, I probably should have drilled through the studs to put the lines through it, but I didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to get into the attic to do the branch off from there either. So I copped out and did it the quote-unquote easy way. Sorry, boys. It's not pretty. Just like that. Bada bing, bada boom. Two more here. There's these right here, and go, 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 go. Now that the plumbing is set up for the water, we're going back to building the bigger vanity, and I'm knocking out a hole here on the side to put the pipes through it. Now I'm going to be installing the pieces that go on the inside of the dividers and the outside, and this is just going to add an extra layer of stability. I don't think he even saw me. I don't think he did either. You see Dada? Vander. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be playing. That's where the pipe goes, huh? But it looks good. So for all the nods. Vander. Hi. Say hi. You get your one shot for fame. There's two. What you think, buddy? I bought these countertops from IKEA. They were a fairly good price. Now, putting this countertop in the left corner was kind of tricky because of the supporting wall for the load bearing above stuck out, and so I had to cut this a few times, and unfortunately did not cut it perfectly, but eventually got it to, you know, sit in place where it needed to be. I will be putting tile, I think, on the back for a backsplash, or just buying another piece of countertop to put on there like a backsplash. TBD, let me know in the comments what you think I should do. Oh, and I also made this cut on accident on the front part. I will just cover it with some wood filler. Did you have a good nap?
You're goofy. That's a cool trick Mama did, huh?
Alrighty. Next up we got the sinks going into the countertop. And just a quick note, make sure you're taping off your edges before you're cutting your IKEA countertop off. I guess you don't technically have to, as long as you flip it over and the cutout is on the bottom so you won't see it, and the top will still be smooth. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, make sure you go do that right now. Just hit the button and, you know, I'll give you a cookie someday. Let's measure this out and then cut the holes for the sink and the faucet. So the sinks come with this template. I don't know if all sinks do, but mine did, and so it's really helpful to put on the countertop and to cut it out. Now, putting the paper on is a little bit difficult. You have to make sure it's straight and even and where you want it to be before you use it to cut it out. So just take your time doing that. As you can see, I'm doing here. It took me a little bit longer than it should have, but I eventually got it and cut it out. Right, I ended up having to cut out a notch in this one panel because the sink sat directly over it. I chose to do it that way because the way that it lined up with the wall and the other sink, it wouldn't look right if it was in the middle or on the far left or the far right. So I chose this. I'm happy with it, but if you got a problem, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what I should have done. Alright, next up we're caulking the edges here to hold the countertop in place, and that's all I'm going to be using for it. And then I caulk the edge for the sink to sit on, and then I'm going to caulk where the sink and the countertop meet to seal it all up. And that so far has been great. Can't move it, but if you really wanted to get it off, you could, but I don't need to do that. So this is a great solution. Works great. I put on some weight on the countertop so that it would sit down onto the top and sink into the caulk. That works great. And now I'm going to be installing the plumbing for the sinks. I did try to use some IKEA plumbing fixtures, if you will, and it didn't work. The sink was too shallow, whereas the connector for the IKEA piece was too long. And I tried to cut it, but that still didn't work, so I ended up just going with the normal plumbing route. And as you can see me doing here, I am connecting the left sink to the right sink with this T, and then I put that into a P-trap that goes eventually into the drain. Okay, everything is hooked up, not to what I had planned, but we're gonna test it now. So I guess we'll start with this sink and then go to the next one. One leak over here by the P-trap. Alrighty, try number 2. Got it, so we're good. The plumbing is all done on both of the sinks, and even though it's not as I wanted to, where I wanted to use the IKEA where it goes back into the wall so that I could put more drawers here, this works perfectly fine, and I have access to the plumbing still. And so as you can tell, my wife is just throwing crap in here. Still need to organize, but it's working great. Water's working great, plumbing's working great, no leaks, sinks are great, faucet's great. I'll have the link to the products in the description so you can go and check them out. Another thing I did want to mention is why did I choose to build a vanity like this where it's like floating off the ground? It's because the floor in here is not even. If you watch previous videos, this part is sloped a little bit and then this is flat because this sits on two different foundations basically. And so this makes it easier to get it straight. And I could have done that with putting it on the floor, but I thought this would just be a good way. And I kind of mirrored it after an IKEA design that we put in our guest bathroom, which if you want to go check out the guest bathroom renovation, go check that out. But yeah, this has been a fun build. Obviously it's not completely done, but there'll be a part 2 of the vanity build where I'll be doing the doors and drawers to this. So make sure you subscribe and go check out that video. And then you can check out the playlist with all the other stuff as well. So that's about it. Go check those out and I'll see you out there. All right.